know the media likes to create a lot of separation, a lot of fear about, different things like politics and everything like that. But in our experience, we've done a lot of traveling in the US. We're both born and raised in Canada. People always say that Canadians are so polite and so friendly.
Whereas in the States, if you say thank you or I appreciate that to somebody, they simply respond with, uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Canada versus the US, which is a very controversial hot topic right now.
It is.
We're talking about it in the context of big cities and which one is our favorite. And we know that you guys are on the same page with us, and you probably don't really like big cities that much if you're into RV life. No. We are not really big into big cities that much either. We like the quiet vibe. That's why we're so drawn into RV life and nature and everything. But this video is going to be very different. We're taking you guys along on our date night today. And where are we headed to?
Yeah, we're heading to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Isn't that the most exciting thing ever?
Not for us, because we've always lived within proximity of Toronto, Ontario. So we're not really the biggest Toronto fans. We're not really big city fans, but stick around until the end of the video because we're going to tell you what our favorite big city is between Canada and the US, which one is our favorite overall, because we've done a lot of traveling. Even though we haven't gotten our RV yet, we did a lot of traveling. We visited a lot of big cities and different places in the US and in Canada. So we've got to explore quite a few places.
Okay, so we're excited you're here. We're glad you're along for the ride. We're going to have a really fun date night, take you to Toronto, Ontario.
We want to know, even though we already know that you're not really big city people, but if you had to pick between anywhere, any big city between the US and Canada, overall, what would your top pick be? Let us know in the comments below.
And why?
Why should we go and visit that big city? We want to know what your favorites are and why.
Yeah, and so tonight we're taking you along to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and you can be not our third wheel, not our fourth wheel, maybe our fifth wheel. Zing! And big cities they're a little overwhelming. I mean, there's just so much going on. I mean, obviously we're looking to get into full-time RV living. So clearly I would prefer not to be in a big city if I had a choice, that's for sure.
I have personally never been a big city person. I've always been I like the small towns. I like little farmers markets. I like quiet. I find big cities very overstimulating for my introverted nature. So all of the lights, the sounds, the people everywhere, I get overstimulated very easily. I get overstimulated in the grocery store. So when we're walking the streets of Toronto or any big city, I am I need a week to decompress after. It's a lot for me to take in. So I've never really been a huge fan of big cities, but the thing is that once in a while, I think it's kind of a good reminder to go into that environment. And I mean, big cities are kind of where they have all of the things, right? If you're going to go to a concert or you're going to go to a show, like tonight we're going to a comedian show that we found this guy on Instagram. He's hilarious. So we're really excited. But all of the things happen in big cities. So if you ever want to do anything, you kind of have to venture.
They're always in a big city. And so I don't know. For me, I when I say I don't like big cities, what I mean by that is I would definitely not want to permanently live there.
Yeah.
But I think it's always fun to check out a big city if there's some event going on. Maybe it's a festival or a concert.
You like sporting events too.
Sporting event for sure. I mean, that's definitely going to take you to a big city. So
hockey in Canada primarily.
Hockey in Canada, right? But yeah, so I mean, I love going there. I love but I don't need a week to decompress like she does. I'm an extrovert, so I enjoy it in general. I just would not want to have that hustle bustle of being in that environment Monday to Friday.
Oh my God,
it's just
absolute worst nightmare.
So yeah, and then of course so it's kind of weird. We go in there and it's we don't live in this environment.
Yeah.
So where do I park? What do I do? Which way do I walk?
The parking.
And you hear sirens and it's it's just it's
so
too much.
Chaotic. Yeah. And I know some people love big cities. They thrive in it. They want the condo overlooking, all of the city, all of the city life and the traffic. I don't know. But I know that most of our subscribers are probably not in that category. They're probably more in the nature category. And for me, my idea of a good time would be boondocking. in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the Arizona desert.
With a population of 5 people.
Yeah. Who we know and who are friends.
Who are our dogs and one other
around
guy.
the campfire. But it is fun once in a while to venture out, go out to concerts, do the big city life thing, and then retreat and go back home into your normal environment. That is the ideal situation. So let's touch on what are some big things that stand out to us when we're talking about big cities in Canada versus big cities in the States.
Honestly, I don't really notice a difference. I mean, they all have people everywhere, like lineups at streetlights, sirens ringing nonstop, nowhere to park that is free, and just, traffic, big skyscrapers, like barely any trees unless it's like a segregated area. I think one of the main reasons why we actually love the idea of dividing our time equally between Canada and the US is that we don't really notice a huge difference between the culture here and the culture there. I know the media likes to create a lot of separation, a lot of fear about, different things like politics and everything like that. But in our experience, we've done a lot of traveling in the US. We're both born and raised in Canada. And we notice not very many differences in terms of just living your life. It feels pretty much the same to us if we're in Canada or the US. Now there are some differences in general, not just in big cities, but I would say who does restaurants better? The US, clear winner.
Yeah, if you guys come to Canada and you're used to US meals and you come to a restaurant here, no offense to Canadians, but it is just less of an experience.
It's no good. I mean, I always joke about this. I bet a typical American, when they come to Canada and they get, a serving on their plate, they're like, is this the appetizer?
Yeah.
Where's the rest of this?
Yeah.
So you guys do portions differently. You do bigger, better. And I love going to the US for the restaurants. So that is a pro of a big city in the US, is the selection of restaurants.
I would say too that the variety of things in general in the States is much more diverse. Whether we're talking about restaurants or grocery stores or entertainment, just way more variety in the US than Canada. I don't know why that is, but your population's bigger, so that's probably why.
That's definitely why.
Yeah, because then the markets that are in the different industries have more people to profit off of. So I assume that's why you have more options down there. Grocery stores, I think you guys do grocery stores better. Although I will say that as someone who is concerned about the food quality and the processed nature of things, when it comes to artificial flavors and food dyes and all of the weird things that go into foods, when I'm grocery shopping in the States, I notice that there's a lot more crap in the ingredient labels than in Canada.
There's way less restrictions on
there's way less restrictions in the States that they can if they can jam in fructose, glucose, or whatever the hell in anything, I feel like it's in everything. So I'm always checking the labels.
The one thing I love is that in the US, as opposed to Canada, in a grocery store, there's 2 aisles of just potato chips.
That's true. The variety
I don't even know where to start, what flavor I want. What do you guys do? Do you grab 5 or 6 different flavors and just kind of have
go
a party?
Town? Yeah.
You mix it all in one bowl and it's
an
all dressed. Do they have all dressed chips in the States?
I don't
Let us know. Do you guys have all dressed chips in the States? Let us put in the comments.
I think it's ketchup chips they don't have in the States.
They don't have ketchup chips.
I think they're disgusting. Chips. I hate ketchup chips.
I love ketchup.
Chad's obsessed
As a Canadian,
with ketchup.
I love ketchup. When I was a kid, I hated tomatoes, but I love ketchup.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
That
Because it's pure sugar.
Yeah. So I guess the process, when people are talking about food cultures in the world where you have Chinese food and Thai food and all these different things, Indian food, I feel like the US is their food is processed food. I feel like that is their cultural cuisine, is processed food. Canada is really not that much better, although I think we have tighter restrictions on certain things, which is kind of nice peace of mind. I'm always more vigilant when I'm grocery shopping in the States, and I prefer to go to places like Whole Foods and whatever. I know they're more expensive and bougier, but they usually have better ingredient labels and stuff. But the selection of different things, if you're looking for treats, or whatever, cereals to try, galore. Fun fact,
Cereals.
When we used to own our bakery, we would take trips to the States and wander down the candy aisle, the cereal aisle, all of the junk food aisle to be what kind of donuts can we make with what the weirdest things that we can find in the States, because Canada just doesn't
have that variety.
The weirdness factor. Like when you're in the, in the cereal aisle at the U.S. grocery store, you will find like Sour Patch Candy cereal and just like weird things. Do they have that in Canada?
I think they probably do now.
I don't know, but when we had our bakery business, it was like very obvious that if we could go to the grocery store in the States and stock up on a bunch of the most random food, that we would jam into cupcakes and donuts.
We make really cool desserts out of just any random stuff that we would find in U.S. grocery
Pop
stores.
Tarts,
So
you guys have a plethora of Pop Tart flavors and Oreos.
You only got like 5 flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's what you guys are
doing.
I
guess that's a win, or is it a loss? I'm not sure. Maybe
it's
a loss.
Win for the quantity factor, but like if you have little self-control or addiction to sugar processed foods, it's like you have to have a lot of self-control in that environment. Next up, we're going to talk about walkability difference between big cities in the US and big cities in Canada. And to be honest, I don't notice a huge difference in this. I know that we have this in Canada too, but like I feel like there's some sketchier areas in some of the big cities in the States, like more so than Canada. I think that is due to like the difference in population. It can seem a little bit more sketchier and dangerous in certain big city areas. Usually not in the main downtown core, but like on the outskirts it can be. So like if you're we've had some situations where we've been driving around and we end up in like, this is like out of a freaking horror movie over here. Like it is actually scary. Like, lock the doors.
When you cross Canada into the Detroit border, do not miss your exit.
Yeah, that area is very sketchy. And we do have that in Toronto too, of course, but it's like, it's definitely different, and I know we have different laws and regulations in terms of like gun control and different things, so it does make us feel a little tiny bit safer, obviously because we grew up in Canada, so we're kind of used to that culture. But there's sketchy areas in big cities regardless of where it is. We just find that because of the bigger population, that means also a bigger population of, homelessness and drug use and stuff. So that can be a little bit iffy, and there's been some big cities that we've noticed are worse than others. And stick around to the end of the video because we're going to tell you our favorite big city overall.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know if it's going to be the same.
Yeah, is it in the U.S.? Is it Canada? We didn't talk about this before.
No, so I don't know. I don't know what yours is.
I think I might know what yours is, but you know what mine is?
You have to know what mine
is.
Stay
tuned.
Okay. Tonight we're headed to a bar in downtown Toronto.
Not for the booze.
Not for the booze. Neither of us drank alcohol at all. And so we're going to a bar at 6 p.m. in downtown Toronto on a Friday night. So I don't know what good happens at a bar at 6 p.m. on a Friday night in Toronto, but...
Can you tell that I'm getting older and I'm turning 40 this year, and I'm excited to go to a show that starts at 6 p.m. and not 9 p.m.
Oh my God. It's actually so
So the funny thing about this is there was 2 options. There was a show that started at 6 and the other one was at 8 or 9?
8:30 or something. So way too late for us.
I'm going to be in bed. Yeah. I'll be half asleep driving home and hopefully in bed by 9 or 10. So we definitely chose a 6 o'clock show. So I don't think this crowd will be as rowdy as the 8 or 9 o'clock show. Might be some parents there.
Maybe the family show. I don't know, right?
Yeah, we are going to a bar, not because we're going there for the quality of the drinks there. It's the comedian that we're going to see. So it should be fun.
Yeah, we found him on Instagram. I'll insert his Instagram here so you guys can go follow him. He just has a really fun sense of humor. And it's not, I just don't like really trashy comedians. Like, I don't know. I like like Amy Schumer, and who else do I like? Anybody that's really sarcastic and like creative in their humor, not like derogatory and like super gross and weird. So I like the creativity aspect of it, but this guy is hilarious.
Are you trying to say that Amy Schumer isn't derogatory
I don't think,
and weird?
Not enough to turn me off. Like I think she's hilarious, but like some of them just go too far with certain things that I don't find them funny. So we're headed to a bar. We both don't drink alcohol. So we haven't gone to bars in like, I can't even remember how long. So sober nightlife, or just even being sober in a big city, who does it better, Canada or US? We find now overall between both of them, there are much more options than there used to be. So there's a lot of places that do offer non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic wine, which we both love, and non-alcoholic cocktails as well. So because that's becoming more prevalent now, it's actually much more enjoyable when you go out to big cities and go out for a nice little fancy dinner. You can actually get a drink that's not a chocolate milk for a child, which is nice.
Maybe we'll get chocolate milk and just embrace the 6 p.m. show.
Although you do love chocolate milk.
Yes.
Now let's talk about one very important factor, which is the people and the energy. Because I feel like people always say that Canadians are so polite and so friendly, and I feel like we are pretty polite and friendly. Like, I don't feel like that is a stereotype that's not true. I feel like it is very true. But like, what demographic is better in terms of people in general? Like, what vibe do we like better? What would you say the difference is?
So one thing I do want to point out that I always notice is that, so I think maybe this friendliness thing comes from, like, in Canada, if you say thank you for something, someone will say no problem or you're welcome. And you're like, okay, cool. That was like reciprocated. Yeah. Whereas in the States, if you say thank you or I appreciate that to somebody, they simply respond with, uh-huh. Like, it's just like a grunt or something.
It's like it's expected. So, or maybe they think we're weird for saying thank you. I don't know.
Maybe they think when we say you are welcome or no problem, it's like, whoa, that's like too much.
Too friendly. Like, are you hitting on me? Like, that's weird.
Maybe that's flirtatious.
Creepy.
I'm not sure. Right?
I don't know. So, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below if you guys have come to Canada and interacted with Canadians. Like, do you think we're so weird for being like abnormally friendly? I feel like you can be too friendly sometimes, where it can border on the line of like, are you a serial killer? I don't know. What do you guys think? Another main difference between the people in Canada and the people in the US, I find, is that the people in the US are, I feel like they're more exuberant and more like, I find they're full of more life. Like, I find they're hilarious.
Yeah,
like,
people are joking and laughing and having fun more often.
I think we're more serious.
Yeah, we're more rigid and more serious.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
we kind of walk around. It's like, we'll be friendly, but like, we don't need to just laugh and joke and all this for whatever weird reason.
And we're not as loud and boisterous. I find.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So that's something I actually do notice. That's a positive.
Yeah.
That is really cool. You kind of feed off that energy.
Well, I love when like we're just walking around in the States, or if we were on a cruise or vacation somewhere, and like people are just having a great time, like they're laughing, they're joking, and it makes me laugh. Like, I actually laugh because I'm like, oh my God, they're having so much fun over there. And like, I think in Canada, we're just too embarrassed to have that much fun in public. I don't know what it is.
That's it. I know. I feel like with Europeans, they're even more rigid than Canadian.
Yeah.
Right? So then it's like, then it becomes Canadian and then American, and then I don't know.
You guys just let loose. I don't know.
Freebird country
it's
in addition to
really fun.
The US. I don't know. Yeah. But I want to have some fun with you guys.
Well, yeah, if you guys are having a campfire and you want to invite us around the campfire, please do. We love to visit and meet new people. Are gonna think I'm an absolute psychopath, but I have had to get really used to stopping in public restrooms and going to the bathroom, like at McDonald's, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, whatever. I used to have a really hard time doing that because I felt guilty doing that. Like, it's the weirdest thing, but whenever I would see a sign that said the restrooms are for customers only, I like start sweating and I feel like I'm a criminal for using the restroom if I'm not buying something. So that is like an anxiety thing that I've had to overcome. Thankfully, I've overcome it because I just think in my head, like, how many times do I buy Starbucks or coffee from these places and not use the restroom? So I just rationalize that in my mind, like, okay, I bought coffee and I didn't use them last time, so this time I'm not buying coffee, but I'm using the restroom, so it kind of balances it out. I realize that sounds really weird, but it is just something that, because I've always been like a rule follower, if I see a sign that says it's for customers only, I feel extremely guilty when I have to do it. But then now I'm like, what am I gonna do? Just go outside like the store? We're at the Subway right now using the restrooms. We are not stopping here for dinner, but you know what? We've had Subway lots of times and not used the restroom, so that's just some weird thing about me. Dinner was awesome. What did you think?
Okay, I'm really full now.
Yeah. So now we have to go and head to the show, which we thought we would have lots of time, but we actually don't because
There's a rush hour in Canada's largest city on our way there.
Yeah.
How do you predict it?
Toronto traffic is always an issue.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because then we have to get there and we have to find parking, which is also the struggle is real.
Also the reason why the big city struggle is real.
Yeah. So let's see if we can make it on time. What do you guys think? Ugh. Another big reason why we do not enjoy the big city life, and I don't know what people do when they live in the big city, if they're just used to being late everywhere, or do they try to account for that time? I don't know, but there's always crazy amounts of traffic. So I don't know how you plan things properly. I mean, like, we both grew up about an hour or 2 hours away from Toronto, so we would always go there for like concerts or events or whatever, and like you're just always late and always rushing to things. Like, it's crazy. I don't know how people live like that. Like, you're always late, probably late for work, you're probably, you know, it's just so stressful because you're always late to things, you know? I don't know, it's just a weird thing. So anyways, we have 35 kilometers. What is that in miles? 20 miles, and it's taking us an hour and 15 minutes, it says.
Drive 20 miles on the highway.
To drive 20 miles on the frigging highway. So that is Toronto traffic for you. And I mean, most big cities are like that, right? So you kind of have to expect it. But like, we did plan this properly. We left pretty early. The show starts at 6, so... But we have to find parking, and parking is another situation that people in big cities have to deal with. I know a lot of people that live in big cities don't have a car.
Subway.
They take the subway, they walk, they bike, like whatever, because it's faster than like taking a car. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, when you have to come and find freaking parking in the big city as well, it's like, A, it's really expensive, and B, it's really hard to find. So those are some things that we don't like about the big city. Good news, guys, we made it with half an hour to spare. We found parking and the traffic wasn't as bad as the GPS made it seem, so we have to walk a little bit now because we found parking here, and we're gonna go and walk up to the venue now, but we made it on time. I shouldn't speak too early because we still gotta go find the place. It'll probably be like about a 15-minute walk or so, but yeah, right downtown Toronto in the full chaos of it all. Just another reminder of why we're excited to begin our RV life and boondock. Also, personally, I hate driving in really big, busy cities. It gives me anxiety. Chad is actually a really good driver when it comes to big cities. He's very like, he'll go in and out, and like he just, you know, you have to be very proactive and a little bit aggressive or you won't get anywhere, while still keeping an eye out for all of the pedestrians. But for me, I just hate driving in a big city. So, and honestly, I cannot imagine doing the big city, like driving through it with a dually truck and a giant fifth wheel. Like, do you guys do that? Like, what do you do? That would really stress me out. Some of these streets are really super narrow, and just even just driving in my normal freaking Jeep is concerning. So
$20.
it's only $20.
Yeah.
Wow,
3 hours.
that's unlike downtown Toronto.
I know, right? So that's a win.
Do you know where we're going?
Yeah, right up here. 9 minutes. We're 10 minutes early.
Wow. Literally, just in time. The better approach to do, that we know better than to do this, but is to find a place that is close for dinner so that you can just walk to the venue after. Park, eat dinner, walk to the venue, and then you will not be so rushed to find parking and weird things. We're the 6 p.m. rowdy crowd here at this intimate venue with our non-alcoholic Heineken. Like the rowdiest crowd ever.
Here it is. You ready? Say your kid gets kidnapped. The only way to get your kid back is to sell 4. I think Gregory's gonna figure out how to move the 4. Am I right? Okay? So why are we waiting for our kids to get kidnapped? Just move the 4, right? Okay? I'm sick of the excuses. Well, which kid are you gonna kidnap? A little star back.
Just got finished at the comedy show. It was hilarious, so good. Highly recommend you guys go check him out and give him a follow. He's just so talented and so creative.
Super talented
What did
guy,
you think
yeah.
about
So
it?
he's a comedian on Instagram. That's how we found out about him, and yeah, really cool guy. He does like 3 characters. So he went away, changed into each of the 3 characters, and yeah, it was hilarious. Intimate show, small comedy bar in Toronto. We had a blast, and we got to meet him after and took a picture, which was really
Yeah,
cool.
that's the fun thing too about going to these really intimate settings when, like, before people, he's gonna get so famous, so before people get like super famous, it's so nice to like have the experience of such an intimate setting like that, because there was, I don't know how many people were there, but like we were in the front row.
Maybe like 30 people.
Yeah, front row. We got to see it up close and personal, and then afterwards we got to meet him and take a selfie with him, which was super fun. I love when people do that and spend the extra time to do that, because we know he's doing a second show tonight, and we know it's like very tiring. So for him to stay around and hang out with us, it was super fun.
Really cool.
And you know, you don't really know what to expect when you see somebody who is on Instagram doing comedy reels. Like, you don't really know what the show's gonna be like, but I feel like it was a lot better than I even thought that it would be.
Yeah, it was awesome. Had a blast. So highly recommend Chris Munch. Check him out on Instagram. We'll link his thing here.
And you know what a bonus part is that it is still light out.
Still light out. Look at this.
It's not
The
dark.
dog days of Canadian summer. Here we are. It's 7:50 p.m. and it's still.
Well, I was telling people we can't stay out late because we're old now.
So we're old now. So 8 2-hour drive. We'll be in bed at our usual time, 10 o'clock. Well, a little bit later than usual, but anyway, it's time for bed.
Let's go drive home. I am overstimulated. It's 8:30 p.m. and I am excited that we got to go to an early show because I'm ready to go home, take my makeup off, get in bed, get cozied on up. We're just stopped at this Tim Hortons right now. I'll see if I can pop you out the top window here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, there we are. Tim Hortons right there. Chad is just grabbing us decaf coffees for the ride home. Telling you, introverts in a big city, they do not mix well. We always have so much fun when we go. It's just we need to do like short periods of time or weekend trips. Sometimes we'll do like spend a weekend in Toronto, and it's just fun for short periods of time. You know what I mean? Especially if you're like a naturey, outdoorsy person, you just really feel more calm and at peace and just more at home when you're in nature. I don't know. I feel like our followers and our there goes my shades. Oh, there we go. Our subscribers are I'm not the best at vlogging here. Bear with me. Our subscribers know what I'm saying. When we are comparing big cities to regular living life, I would not want to be here for long periods of time. I wanted to pop on here to say thank you guys so much for everybody who has subscribed so far. We just started this channel like to document our journey. We started it like maybe 3 months ago now. Like whenever we listed our house for sale, that's when we started it. And we already have like 900 subscribers, which I don't know. I did not expect our channel to grow that quickly. And also like the watch time hours are adding up, which is showing that a lot of you guys are watching the full videos and you're going in and watching our videos right from the beginning, which is so awesome. And we are honestly so grateful. We love doing the videos for you guys and showing up and sharing our dates with you and sharing what we're doing and how we're doing it, because we have really found a lot of value ourselves on YouTube. Like, I don't know, I grew up in the time where I learned everything on YouTube. Like, quick little backstory about me, but I dropped out of high school when I was 16 years old, and I moved out on my own at that time. It was a very challenging time. I wrote about my experience in my first book, The $1 Million Bakery. Shared a little bit about that. But I basically learned everything from YouTube. So I learned how to decorate a cake. I learned all of my business skills or business knowledge, I guess, that I gained. I learned everything from watching YouTube videos, and I think that's just my generation thing because I grew up with YouTube and how-to videos, and I'm more of a self-taught learner, so I just got so much freaking value from YouTube that I was like, you know what? I think that this would be a fun way to give back to other people, watching our journey, because I find so much value in watching other people's journey. So why not just take the time and document what we're doing to hopefully help other people who are thinking about doing the full-time RV lifestyle. So honestly, thank you guys so much for subscribing and watching our videos. We are very, very grateful for that. And we really believe that the point of social media is to cultivate real connections, and the only way to do that is to get off the screen and get in person. So hopefully one day, I know a lot of other RVers who have been doing it for a long time, do rallies and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll be able to attend some of those for some of our favorite people. That would be awesome. And maybe we'll see you guys there. Thank you guys. Now the point that you guys have been waiting for, to know what, in our opinion, is our favorite big city overall, anywhere in Canada or the US. Who's gonna go first? Is yours the same as mine, or is it different?
I think it's the same.
Okay. That's
not exciting. I don't know. I have a second favorite, but it's not even necessarily the city. I just had a really good pad thai there.
What city is that?
Flagstaff.
That's not really a big city, is it?
Yeah.
It's not really a big city.
It's not
I don't consider that. I love Flagstaff.
There's only like 100,000 people there, and it's like a university town.
It's a cool city. It's a really cool. I love the vibe. It's very artsy and very cool there. I love that. But I guess like our favorite big city would be Chicago. right?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
Same.
Chicago. We've been there numerous times, and we just love it.
So the one thing I love about Chicago is that the downtown area, when you think about walkability, safety, like it's cleanliness, scenery, like just walking around all around the riverfront area there, it's just absolutely beautiful. You feel super safe. It's really clean. You know, people are friendly. You don't feel like you're you just feel like you're in a movie. Almost.
Yeah, it's like a movie set. It really is.
It's a beautiful environment, which is super rare to find in like a downtown area as opposed to like, you know, New York City or LA or something like that. What a beautiful place. So we love Chicago. Now, obviously I know there's the south end of Chicago, which is dangerous and crime ridden, but the downtown area, if you stay there and you hang out there, which we've done many times, is amazing and incredible restaurants all over the town. We've went to a wonderful restaurant called Alinea several times.
It is
very
magical.
Expensive. It's like theater on your plate. They give you like 15 courses.
It's not like you don't like casually go here. You just you book it
like Ticketmaster. You have to book
in advance.
A spot like months in advance when they open it up at like 12 p.m. a couple months before. And yeah, it's expensive. I think it's like $300 US per person, but it is so worth it if you can swing it. It's like 15 courses, I think, 10 or 15 courses. The servers come out, they tell you a story about the food. It's presented in a way that
it's very
looks
creative.
Differently than what you think it is. And like, you know, they have smoke, we were
so very skeptical the first time we went, although we found out about it because we watched a Netflix documentary called Chef's Table, which I loved it. I thought it was so creative and so fun. And at the time I was doing really creative things in my bakery. So I just fell in love with this show and fell in love with the chef that owns that restaurant. He's so talented. And so we were like, okay, for that price, and you know how when you see those little meals and they're so tiny, and you're like, I'm gonna pay $300
Am I going to McDonald's after because I'm still hungry?
You know what I mean? Like tiny little portions and whatever. But like you actually do get full because the food is so rich and like just there's so many courses and there's time between the courses and like it is just a whole theatrical experience. Highly recommend if you're celebrating a really special occasion or something, or you just want a cool experience to do. Very, very cool. And also another thing that I love about Chicago is they have the best gluten-free freaking donuts ever. And gluten-free donuts are hard to find, especially really good ones. So Do Right Donuts, favorite ever. I usually stock up when I go there.
I remembered the name of that place.
You remembered the Pad Thai in Flagstaff. Like, I didn't even know where the Pad Thai we're talking about is. It's funny how we have different memories of food.
Night?
I do now that you're saying that. Yes, it was good Pad Thai.
Sometimes this happens though when you're just really hungry that night and it makes it seem better than it is.
It just like sticks in your...
Yeah.
It was actually good though.
It was good. But
I don't remember
think
the
it was
place.
The best Pad Thai I've ever had.
Not the best,
so I mean, this is a very far second for
we have
the
been
city.
to Thailand and had really authentic Pad Thai. I think that would probably be like, at the top of the list there. But Flagstaff's a close second, I guess. But yes, Chicago is our favorite city. Very clean, very beautiful, very scenic. If I had to pick a big city to live in, it would be Chicago for sure. But I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. Although we will have to find a place to park our RV when we get it in the vicinity of Chicago so that we can do some donut runs and maybe have a nice dinner out at Alinea. Alinea is the name of that really fancy, fun restaurant. So let us know in the comments below, what is your favorite big city and why? And should we go and visit it? Give us a reason why we need to go and visit your favorite big city and do a little vlog over there.
Yeah, maybe they got a cool festival. I mean, concerts are always in big cities.
Yeah.
We're going to end up there at some point throughout our travels. So let us know what's a big city that actually doesn't feel like Manhattan. I mean, if you put in Manhattan, I mean, come on.
Well, we've been to New York as
Obviously, that's cool. You got to experience
cool vibe,
it, but
just not our favorite.
Talk about overwhelming.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, we'd love to hear it. What's your favorite?
China's in Apex. Predator. Nightlife on too. Okay, nightlife on too. You feel me? You swim up next to a nightlife on. You swim the other way, friend. Okay. Dangerous man. Okay. But I get it. You guys are here for a little comedy show. You guys are here to get your laugh on. Or to get your chuckles on. If you run into some funny, go, Steven's got something waiting on him.